Jeff Sweeney, with Chairman, CEO, President, and Chief Cook and Bottle Washer, U.S. Capital Global. And then we're here today with Ahmed from Arizona, Texas,
Arizona at the moment.
Arizona. But he's coming to our Dubai office, so we're really excited about that. And I wanted to take a little bit of time just to talk to Ahmed and just hear more about your background, what you do. He's a really cool guy. I've met with him many times before he joined us. And I'm really excited about kind of the level of professionalism, sobriety, and deal making that he's going to bring to our Dubai office. So, Ahmed, how long have you been? You also have an asset manager too, right? You have
wealth management, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I started my career. Joined the Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch's of the world, built my book of business, joined a few big advisory firms after that, helped with the acquisition of BMO Harris, acquiring BNP Paribas to take the French bank out of the United States, essentially. That was a tedious process, learned a lot. And then during that time, I had the pleasure to run into Michael Carpinello in Miami. And at that moment, I had a few clients who were looking for capital, and that's when I first heard of U.S. Capital Global. It was an intriguing moment. I always thought of myself, maybe one day I'll come work here. I just like the process, the people, and it just seemed like a good fit for me.
I pitched it pretty hard in our meeting in Dubai.
That was true, but I was sold right away. It's day one.
And then you brought a couple of interesting transactions in. The
previous clients, they created a company called Footprint. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. They're out of Gilbert, Arizona. The whole purpose is eliminating plastic from packaging, especially what we eat.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a compostable product, compostable within 90 days. Co-founder ended up, getting out of that business and trying to acquire another one here in Miami, which with the help of US Cap, we're in phase 3 in due diligence process and almost there to the finish line.
Yeah, and then we have some, how big is that transaction?
185 million.
185, and we've got some good institutional interest in that thing.
That is correct.
It's a hot sector, certainly people are very interested in that topic.
And it's a healthy balance sheet too.
Good balance sheet, and he has some new proprietary technology that makes a good product even better, apparently.
That is correct, yes.
Good. Well, we technologically will kind of help get us out of the single-use plastic stuff, which uses a lot of petroleum product and also very hard to dispose of.
Yes. Yeah. But my ultimate goal with the company is, like you said, go to the Middle East. As people have heard, it's booming with transactions left and right, especially with Saudi Arabia, Emirates. So with my connections there in the family offices, the relationship I've developed, I really want to hone into that relationship and bring them on board to US Cap.
Yeah, and then you've got kind of a foot in both worlds. So you're still going to have, because our U.S. presence, all relationships you have here, just reach out and you can handle their transactions, right? Mm-hmm. And then now you're going to relocate physically there because you have a lot of relationships there. So you'll be kind of a U.S. Capital Global, and then we got Ahmed Global. You can handle transactions anywhere in the world because we've got offices in London and everything else.
And,
you can partner with our
I love to travel, as you know it.
Yeah.
My background, I also got my grad school degree from Thunderbird Global Management International School. So traveling is our thing. So this job really fits that box.
Honestly, we're relationship based, not so much regional.
Okay.
So if you've got a relationship, that's your relationship. If it's in a region that you're not, then we'll have somebody there to kind of help on the ground. But it's not really divided up by region of the world. So it's relationship
driven,
which I think is a better strategy. So you're well protected on your relationships.
And if I may ask one question, what excites you about going internationally versus staying domestically? Like what?
I've always been a nomad, so I like to travel, and I have a lot of respect for other cultures, and also the perspective when you travel and you look back at the U.S., you can really see the opportunity. Like when I was a kid, when maybe 18, I went on a long surf trip all the way through Mexico and Central America and El Salvador finally for a few months, right? And then I came back. After that trip, I came back and lived down there for a while. I came back, and then I went into the U.S. and said, wow. I looked at what people faced in those southern countries as opportunity, right? And it was relatively narrow opportunity for most people because it wasn't booming economies, wasn't as developed, right? I came back to the U.S., crossed the border into Texas, and I just said, you can do anything you want to do here. It's like the complete land of opportunity. And the perspective of being away and then coming back, you have a much deeper appreciation of the kind of opportunity that's available in the U.S. That helps. So that's why I like to go offshore and look back, because it's helped us develop our business in the U.S. And then on the flip side of that is the U.S. has arguably one of the most mature financial products, and marketplaces on the planet, right? So then I go to other places and I go, you know what? We can probably use some of these products and from some of these styles that we have for financial. It could really be used in some of even Europe and everything else in the middle market. Could really be used there and would help. We'll do well. Kind of motivate. So there's tons of opportunity up here.
The international dealing will overtake domestic at one point, or we're still heavily.
I love friendly competition. So I love friendly competition because it makes everybody better.
It's what excites me about the opportunity. Is like you said, I come from both worlds. I understand what's needed there, and I want to live through the uplift of the financial markets in the Middle East, especially.
Yeah.
With all the new money coming into the markets, and they're trying to diversify from oil investments.
Yeah.
So by adding our expertise and the know-how, that's really what excites me the most. And at the same time, knowing the culture.
It's very interesting over there. I mean, in the UAE and the Middle East, and even all over there with Singapore, the U.S. financial products serving middle market companies over there in Middle East and Africa. And also the degree of optimism and the degree of growth that's happening, regional growth. It's like a hub for South Asians, Africans. It's really a kind of a headquarters, a company headquarter hub with subsidiaries in these other countries. I have a pretty good idea of what they're up to over there. And then having been a trading hub from time immemorial, basically, right, between spices and everything else, trading to Europe.
Silk Road.
Yeah, and then what happens? I don't know how many decades ago, all of a sudden the good Lord, discovers natural resources. Never had natural resources before. It was always based on wit and trading, right? So very sharp group, very respectful of other cultures. You can't do deals with counterparties unless you can respect their culture and religions. So it's really. And then now all the mineral wealth. So the first wave, they make a lot of money. The region does. They send a lot of it offshore. They make more money off the money, right? And then now you're in kind of the second wave. And I was laughing. I said, well, do we buy a bigger yacht or do we build the nation? And the choice is, you know what? We're going to build a legacy nation here. We're going to build one of the dominant areas of the world for trade, for tourism, for transportation hub. I go, that, bigger boat's not going to make me as happy as building a legacy for my grandchildren. And I think that's the mentality over there now.
And they've done a great job. So.
And I'm on board with it, because we're transaction guys. We help people grow. We sense what they want to do, and then we help make it happen so the counterparties do well. So I like what they're doing, and I say I think we can be a big part of that because we help companies grow. We have companies, they want a lot of accretive activity. So they don't want to just invest offshore and make money. I'm happy to invest, but they say, but what's it going to do for my region? Well, let's open up a branch. Let's have royalties for this product. It fits well in the region. So they'll invest offshore and they want some accretive benefit to the region. And so I kind of sensing that, and that's exactly what the thesis is now. A lot of guys they're bored with doing financial stuff. Now they want to do, more enterprise related things that it's accretive to the area. I mean, I have one example was a Saudi family. They were quite big packaging manufacturers in Saudi Arabia. They had an exit, and then the sons running little VCs, they've been looking for companies. We helped them source and buy a company in the UK, construction products.
Wow.
Okay. So now why did they want to do that? Did they want to do it because they want to expand to the UK and grow that? No, it was relatively stagnant in Europe, right? But they had great relationships with suppliers for construction products. What they really want to do is they want to take those distribution routes they have, come to Saudi Arabia, and then distribute their products in Saudi Arabia, right? So it was a classic kind of U.S. capital. We found them a target, finance the target, and then they'll work their magic of bringing those products to the Saudi, which is really growing a lot in construction.
That's one good example. I'm sure there's many more that we can help with.
It was just it's a classic. I think it was really down the fairway of what a lot of guys are looking to do. A lot of family offices.
Yeah, and from
like that.
My recent conversations and being there a couple months ago, that's exactly what people are trying to do. They want to import technology. They don't know how. They don't know where to go necessarily. It's like, okay, well, if you can help me navigate through the markets and just import technology here,
Tell us
I'll
what you
sign up.
want. We'll
Exactly.
find a company probably fits it. And it's a friendly kind of deal. They're no one else steal the technology so they can dominate the
No,
US
not
company.
at all.
No, we wanted a creative to our region.
Yep.
And a lot of the US companies don't have a big global footprint. So they're kind of happy to have that as a new hub for them in order to expand their company. So it's pretty, respectful interactions, I find.
Well, and if people, get a chance to go there, happy to host and introduce you to the culture. Michael Carpinell has been telling me he's trying to get to Dubai, so the door's always open.
Yeah, I tell a lot of my friends over there, I said, when you come to Dubai, you bring your best self.
Mm-hmm.
You really do, because they expect a little higher standard of behavior there.
Yeah.
And so you do tend to everybody brings their better self to that area.
100%.
And
That's
I
very
like that. They kind of have expectations of
Yeah.
more gentlemanly behavior or more civilized behavior. And so
And the respect there is top notch.
So we're a good fit. It's a good fit for us. We like that.
I'm excited and happy to start there as soon as possible.
Yeah. Well, I guess June, right?
June 1st.
And then are you going to come over? June 1st, and then we're having an event,
June 5th.
kind of a med tech event.
Yeah, June 5th. So in terms of deal making in the Middle East, when it comes to KYC and the regulations around that, do we still uphold the U.S. standard over there as well?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I made a great decision on that, if I do say so myself. Because the UAE has their own standard of KYC and AML, right? And and so does the UN now with sanctions, and then the US has. So we're required there to meet their standards, right? And we're required in the US to meet the US standards and the UN standards. So what we did for our compliance is we put all the databases together into one. So when we run AML KYC, we do it globally.
Okay.
So anybody that's in our system is good for UAE, it's good for the US, and it meets the UN sanctions list. So we just we have a global comprehensive AML KYC.
Oh, so very impressive. I know you guys were planning on getting the Category 4 license in Dubai. That also covers, I'm assuming, all the AML KYC.
Yeah, we have to do it now with our rep office.
Okay.
And the Category 4, there's really no change.
No change.
No change. And Cat 4 is in process now.
Fantastic. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, it's an exciting area, and I think we've got the right product and the right people for the right place.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It's been a pleasure.
Really happy. I mean, I'm just tickled that you're going to join us. I think that's going to be great. And I can hang out. I'm there often too. We can hang out.
100%.
And I'm always available for deals, meeting clients. And
I mean, where can you go to a bigger firm and say the CEO can help me close a deal, right? So that's really.
And we're pretty flat org, We've kind of eliminated a lot of middle management. Now it's pretty much pretty flat.
Very good. No, thank you. No, appreciate it.